In a bright green valley tucked between rolling hills and whispering trees lived a tiny dragon named Danny. Dragons are usually known for one very important thing, breathing fire. But Danny had a problem. Every morning he would stand tall, puff out his chest, and say, "Today's the day," before taking a deep breath and blowing as hard as he could. Instead of a roaring flame, all that came out was a tiny puff of smoke with a squeaky little sound. Sometimes it barely moved a leaf. The squirrels would giggle, the birds would tilt their heads in confusion, and Danny would sigh in embarrassment. Still, he didn't give up. He read books on fire breathing, practiced fierce dragon roars in front of shiny puddles, and even tried eating spicy peppers, convinced they would spark something inside him. But no matter how hard he tried, all he could manage was a soft, warm breath, never the powerful fire he dreamed of. Determined to improve, Danny went to the bigger dragons for advice. They told him to use more power, to breathe from his chest, to think fierce and angry thoughts. But Danny wasn't angry. He was kind, gentle, and a little unsure of himself. When he tried again, his breath only created a small wave of warmth that made the other dragons blink in surprise. "Well, that's cozy," one of them said awkwardly. Danny's heart sank. That night, he sat alone under the stars, feeling like he didn't belong. "All dragons breathe fire," he whispered, "and I can't even light a candle." He curled up, letting out a soft breath that warmed his own claws, the only comfort he could find. Suddenly, a faint chirping sound broke the silence. From a nearby tree, a tiny baby bird had fallen from its nest. Danny rushed over and saw the little creature shivering in the cold night air. He looked up at the tall tree and realized he couldn't reach the nest, nor could he fly high enough to return it. "Don't worry," Danny said gently, "I'll stay with you." As the night grew colder and the wind whispered through the valley, the baby bird trembled even more. Danny knew he had to do something. Taking a careful breath, he leaned close and exhaled softly. A gentle warmth flowed from him, wrapping around the tiny bird like a blanket. The bird's shivering slowed. Danny kept going, breathing softly again and again, staying awake through the long, quiet night. "It's not fire," he murmured, "but it's something." When morning finally arrived, the sun painted the sky with golden light, and the mother bird returned. She found her baby safe, warm, and alive. "You kept him warm all night," she said with gratitude. Danny nodded shyly. "It's all I could do." But it was enough. It was exactly what was needed. As Danny watched the little bird safely return to its nest, something inside him shifted. For the first time, he smiled with pride. Maybe he didn't have blazing fire, but he had warmth, gentle, steady, and kind. From that day on, Danny stopped trying to be like other dragons. Instead, he used his special gift to help those around him. He warmed cold animals on chilly mornings, protected delicate flowers from frost, and even helped his friends toast treats with just the right amount of heat. Danny realized that being small didn't make him weak, and not having fire didn't make him less of a dragon. In fact, his gift was perfectly suited for the kindness he carried in his heart. And so, the tiny dragon who couldn't breathe fire became something just as special, a bringer of warmth, comfort, and care. Because sometimes the smallest gifts are exactly the ones the world needs most, and they are always perfectly sized for their purpose.